Hi, this is Shadi. Today's topic is going to be about wrestling from the turn of the 20th century. I haven't done these types of video in a while, and it's always good to go back. This one today is going to be from a French book called Modern Sports, illustrated from the National Library of France. The link for the book will be down below. So, as always, we're going to be looking at these illustrations or photographs and try to see what kind of movement they're depicting and also see them through our judo eyes, because at the end of the day we're all grapplers, and so we're going to overlap in many ways. But before we do that, of course, please don't forget to check out my book, The Origins and History of Judo, a translation of a manuscript from 1903, available in French, English, and modern Japanese. So the first one here, you can see he is gripping his wrist, and the same arm that is gripping the wrist, it is passing through, locking the head, the forearm across the neck, and the palm is resting on the shoulder. It is called collier de force, or the necklace of strength or force. And you can see why this is forbidden and dangerous. It is pressing on the trachea upward, while at the same time it is causing a lot of stress on the cervical or the spine. And from this we can deduce that it is dangerous. And also, if we're talking about freestyle and Greco, strangling is not allowed. So here, this is a demonstration of exactly what they're doing. So this is the great Masahiko Kimura demonstrating a hada kajime. And as you can see, it is very tight, and you can choke someone easily, and at the same time you can put a lot of pressure on their spine. So next one, it is very interesting. So at first you can think of it as like a double wrist lock to turn them over. However, the arm does not go over the shoulder, so it is resting on the omoplate, and the other one is gripping the wrist and pushing away. So it is a way to get them to comply to turn over. But as you can see, it can dislocate the shoulder. It's called le renversement du bras. Sorry, le retournement. So it's arm turnover basically. And you can see it is a textbook te gatame. At first glance, you would think that he's trying to turn over with this types of pressure here, and in order to get them on their back, so you can pin them basically. However, this is not what is happening, because the arm is not going over the shoulder but under, in order to pin the omoplate, and the other one is pushing the wrist upward across the back, and that's why it is not the same movement. It's a te gatame rather than ude garami. So here you can see they both put a lot of pressure on the shoulder in order for you to get the rotation to put them on their back, but they function a little bit differently, and we'll take a look at te gatame in just a few seconds. Here you can see you can turn them over through this motion. Now you can see here it goes underneath the arm, and you grab the wrist, creating pressure to turn them over. This is done but at the front. This is exactly the same thing that is happening, but instead of putting the arm on the hand on the chest, it is laying on the back on the omoplate, and the other one is pushing the wrist. So it's a reverse of this type of movement, and you can see it's rarely used, obviously, in competition, but this particular throw, in a sense, it is, I believe, illegal from the cross grip, because it endangers the wrist as well as the shoulders, without giving your training partner much to tap out to. So let's take a look at it here. This is more of what they're trying to do. So they're pushing the wrist across the back up to the shoulder in order to get them to turn over. But here in this stuck position, they can only tap out. But in wrestling, I don't believe that there is submissions unless it's catch, of course. But here, freestyle and Greco, as per this book, you can only turn them over. So gliding the hand like this can cause pain. So these are considered dangerous and prohibited techniques that we are looking at. And you can see that they can be quite painful on the shoulder level. So here, another example is he has the arm underneath while the other one is pushing the wrist on the back. So you can target this type of turnover of the arm in many angles, and here we can have kind of an idea what they were trying to do. And let's take a look at it one last time. You see the palm is resting on the back of the shoulder while the other arm is grabbing the forearm or the wrist and pushing in order to put pressure on the shoulder. Now, the last one, I don't think you need me to tell you why this is forbidden. It is called la cravate, meaning the necktie. To me, it looks more like a chin strap. And you can see you have one palm on the chin while the other one is crossed and grabbing the forearm. So if you tug down on the forearm, it will create a torsion on the neck and the spine. And it's again the same thing in order to get them to comply, to turn over and get down on their back. But here, of course, with resistance, with strong athletes, you can guess that a lot of things can go wrong with this movement. Of course, this is very reminiscent of the Tiger Scrolls from the 1913, and you can see here grabbing the head, the chin, and creating torsion on the spine is nothing new, but it's of course for life and death situation and self-defense, etc. These things have existed for a very long time, so it's always nice to see these old techniques. Usually you would see forbidden stuff in judo, but this time for a change it's in wrestling. So if you have anything to add, please let me know down below. Consider supporting me on Patreon, and don't forget to check out the links for my book below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.